welcome back. Kevin Nagle will join us shortly. He's going through.
He's touring the area.
We've done this when we first moved here from Madison. I did this a few times where it's a little confusing on all the roads. He was in a suburban residential neighborhood.
Oh, he was a little bit off track, but that's okay.
Yeah, so they're about 2-3 minutes away, but that's great.
Yes,
in this sense, because our new friend, Chairman, Wilton Rancheria Tribe, Jesus Tarango, happy late birthday.
Thank you.
Joins us right now. And I've gotten to know, I knew Chris who's in the other room a little bit. I told you,
I work with you.
Jana and Derek, not
that Chris.
Jana and Derek, they go back to Leatherby.
That's right.
And Jana and Derek are dear friends of ours.
Yes.
So there's already some dirt chewed together. And then spending time with Jesus as well. The energy is infectious. I am a psycho for anyone that advances the causes of this city. And it's one of the reasons why I love Kevin so much. And this is a hell of an exciting time for you guys.
Oh, it's a great time. It's a good time to be a citizen of Wilton Rancheria, but I think a resident and citizen of the greater Sacramento region. I think the things that we have coming.
We'll get to, as we're today, big media tour. You'll see these guys on TV.
Yeah, they're going to be everywhere.
They're going to be everywhere. And then tonight's the big council vote. Like we said, kind of reminiscent of when the Kings voted for their arena. So we'll get another chance at that kind of joy. But it's got to be kind of a whirlwind, and I think the story of the land itself, as much as I'm a Republic fan, as much as I'm a Sacramento fan, that got me emotional when I heard about that. And I just think it's so cool. Cool is not the right word, Jesus. It's so amazing. The story behind that and you reclaiming what's rightfully yours.
Yeah, I think that that's part of the story, right? And in telling what's coming, we get a chance and an opportunity to tell the people of this region what this land has always meant to the people here. The American and Sacramento River, these rivers have been here since time immemorial too, and they served as freeways for other people to come here and gather in our great capital city. So to us, it's just bringing the land back to life, I think, and putting it in a more current picture, I would say, of communities coming together to gather for good times, and celebrations.
Yeah, and how do you envision keep telling that story when this all materializes, when the stadium's here, and when there are people going to games and concerts and different things down there? How do you envision that story continue to be told years down the line?
Yeah, I think it starts with the indigenous people that come from this land. And although Wilton Rancheria is the only federally recognized tribe in Sacramento County, this land is home to many tribal nations around here. The Shingle Springs Band of Miwok Indians, United Auburn Indian Colony, and Yochadihi, all these different tribes, Miwok Nisenan people and Putwin people, we call this place home. And so I think that as we go down this road, it's also giving these other tribes opportunities to share that Wilton Rancheria is not the only tribe from this area, and we all have so much in common. I think that's where you start seeing those stories being told, having more people come and to share their stories, because again, this is a victory for all people that come from this region, and I think that's how it needs to be told.
Why soccer? What brought this to you? And when you first heard about it, was it oh man, this sounds great? Or did you have to warm to the whole idea? How did that work?
It was easy for me.
Yeah.
Growing up, soccer was my favorite sport. Loved playing it in high school, played a comp level, but football had to choose football for my scholarship to kick. But why soccer? It's a worldly sport. I think it's something that's known throughout the world. But I think when you look at it, that soccer ball represents, to me, somebody picking up a ball, somebody else not having a ball but wanting to play, may not wanting to know, or maybe not knowing how to play, but just coming together. And I think that a soccer team here, I think, is one of the first steps for us to really unite our community. It's going to bring everybody together, but it's also going to allow other people to come and visit our home. And even though they're not from here, they're going to get a chance to experience, what this area means to us, and take a piece of it back to where they come from as well. But I think that's where it starts. And I think soccer, it's the perfect sport for this area.
Yeah, I think it just, the sports to me, and Dave and I talk about this all the time, and you played it some, right? It just gives you so many life lessons, but I think you're so right on what it also does for the community. Brings everybody together. There's going to be joy. There'll be heartache. There'll be celebrations. There'll be people will have lifetime memories, and that it's all connected to the Republic, to you guys, to downtown, to Sacramento, and outlying regions coming in. I think that's the power of all of this.
Yeah, no, I think one of the coolest things is that, what the Republic FC already has in their fan base. How you doing, brother? That pride and that honor, that speaks to my people as well. And so again, giving that team that already has that, now lining it with a tribal nation, now we share that in common, and so that it's easy for us to all get behind the Republic FC in this region and be proud of the area that we come from.
Hey, guy knows how to make an entrance. The second half of our in studio. You found your way here. It's not. I defended you a little bit, Kevin. It's not the easiest place to find this studio.
Hey, you know what? It's really funny. He's my boss now.
Got to make that first impression, right?
I felt really guilty about it.
Yeah, you guys gonna have to have a talk afterwards.
Yeah,
maybe write up something.
A little kangaroo court fine.
Yeah. Well, you back here for the Whirlwind Part 2, huh?
It's going to be an exciting moment. Glad to see everybody today.
We were just talking to the chairman about why soccer, why the Republic, how this all came about. And you guys have been talking about it. You will be talking as we kind of educate the public on all of this. But let me ask you from your perspective, because we've said it on the show many times. This has been a long road for you. It didn't happen overnight. You've been out there searching not just for a partner, but you've always said behind the scenes, the right partner, the partner that you can trust to further the interests of this city from a good place. So how did it come about, Kevin? And when did you know, hey, this is it?
It's a great question. I mean, first of all, we've had,
thank you.
the next 48 minutes, we're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
It bleeds over into the next program.
Yeah.
Right? I'm that guy that can't wait to hear what he says next.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
But what really happened was, you are absolutely right. We've had a number of potential suitors as partners. Some of them seemed to be pretty good. A lot of them just didn't really fit the bill. We really wanted somebody who was Sacramento. That's really, in the end, in my heart, I really felt. Now, in the case of when I had a chance to meet my friends at Wilton Rancheria, I think as the chairman and I both said, it really was like love at first sight.
Yeah.
Don't take anything more than
sure
the fact that this fit just felt too good to be true. This was their land, where we wanted to go in at the Railyards. They were here before any of us.
That's right.
And we were trying to do something that was really going to be really important for the present and future of Sacramento. And so I would say this much. Maybe it's really great that all those others failed before now. And I really mean it, because it's going to be in the right hands.
Mm-hmm. Karma, fate, all that, coming together for a reason. And I spent a lot of time with you guys on Thursday, and we talked about it on Friday. There is a palpable respect and love between. I've known this guy 12 years. He hasn't shown me half the love he's shown you guys. I can tell there's a lot of
That's
respect.
just something about you, Dave.
I think it does. But Chairman, there is, it seems like there's a camaraderie, there's a chemistry, but also a mutual respect. You obviously respect the road that Kevin's traveled to get here, and he both publicly and privately completely and immensely respects all the roads you've taken to get here as well.
Yeah, no, I think I say it often, we have 2 eyes, 2 ears for a reason. Mm-hmm. Somebody like Kevin, for us, we've watched, we've observed, we've heard him, we've listened to him. And then when, that meeting, it really is love at first sight. But I think for us in the Native people, it's just really looking at him for who he is. And I think what you see is what you get. And that's rare sometimes in some of the worlds that we live in. And so for us, it's more or less that he's just a brother of ours, and he's in the situation he's in and has the ability to do certain things that others can't. And, for us, I don't think we could have found a better partner, and partner's not even the right word. It's more of a brother, where we come from, and he's one of our family members. And, I think it's happening exactly when it's supposed to happen with the right people.
I know for both of you to be where you are, obviously you're successful, but there's your visionaries, you have vision, you have dreamers a little bit. I'd love to hear from both of you, Jesus and Kevin. Like, let's think about what this looks like in 2027, 2020, and down the line. Like, what do you guys vision this project looking like?
Well, first of all, this is really the first phase. I mean, really what it is the Railyards. It's 242 acres, but we're going to take 31 acres. The first part of it is really going to be a stadium, but that's really only the beginning. I mean, you've got a lot of other acreage, and that development, we're going to probably look at it and see somewhere in the area of $300 million, I think, initially over the next couple of years that will be injected into it. And then what you'll see, I think, if everything goes to plan, but that is very flexible because the tribe, they've got their ideas on maybe what they want to do, which is different than what we've really planned.
Sure.
But in its present form, it's about $1.5 billion worth of investment over a period of time, which is absolutely unbelievable for downtown Sacramento. It has really struggled, as you know, since COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, it had an enormous amount of momentum. So really what it's going to do, it's going to double the downtown core area of Sacramento. But I think what it's going to offer, not just a stadium with a lot of opportunities, where you may have various sporting events and other non-sporting events, but housing, mixed use, mixed retail use. And then also I think what the idea is, what our partner has in mind. And I mean, I don't want to use this, the sky's the limit.
Right. Chairman?
I think it's everything to what Kevin said and then some. I think that's where we all have gifts. My gifts that I have, our visionary sitting in the other room. And again, even doing something like this is out of the ordinary for most tribes. When they want to think about economic development, gas stations, smoke shops, casinos and whatnot. And for us, we have an amazing COO who, he's definitely a dreamer, and I think that the people should just know that, we're just like anybody else, and being stewards of this land, we want what the community wants as well. And bringing those things to our capital city. I think that it truly is sky's the limit, but I think it's going to have something for everybody.
I'll kind of piggyback on what you said, because I think this is such an important part of the story. You have your stereotypes, you have obviously the tragic loss of land and so much else that you've endured. You see Native Americans depicted in movies, and in popular culture. It's the same tropes over and over again, like you said, casinos, reservations, all the different things. This is as I understand it, this is the first franchise majority owned by a Native American tribe. And beyond that, the development, the building and shaping of downtown. So when you looked at this whole process, how important is that the part that you're doing to rewrite again some of those tired old stereotypes into this brand new future?
Yeah, no, I think it's great that we have the opportunity. But I hope that even some other tribes out there and even some other cities and states are asking themselves, why did it take so long to happen? When you think about Wilton, we're 2 years from opening up our Sky River Casino, almost 14, 15 years from being winning back our recognition as a federally recognized tribe. So I would say, to us, it's like, why did it take so long? Wilton, we just think different. And I think that it takes people on both sides of the fence to say, hey, what do we really want for our community? What do we want for this place? It's easy for people to stay in their silos and kind of just stay where they want to be. And for us, I mean, sky is the limit where we want to get out here. We want people to know about tribes. We want people to have a sense of pride in the land that they come from. And this is a perfect opportunity for us to do that, have that pride in our land, but our people as well.
Yeah, I'd say this much. It was really interesting. I'd had some experience with some other tribes. I mean, I was looking at a project just on a really sort of a charitable side down in San Diego, almost on the border. And it was really, the tribe was really, really impoverished. Mm-hmm. And so you had to see one side of that. And then there's some other tribes that we worked with and we saw what they were doing. But when we had a chance to really meet, Chairman and Chris Franklin, who he mentioned a second ago, the vision was just unbelievable. And it was really the thing that I think we both really aligned is that they saw not just doing, I think, the things, that what Jesus said in terms of, just casinos and cigarettes and alcohol, but being a visionary and just much greater than that. And so when we started to talk about it, that really excited me.
Yeah.
And then there was a part that we talked about that we really feel, collectively, that we had charitable obligations, the right thing to do for your community, above and beyond just the side that we're really talking about. And that really excited me. And I think when we were sort of sussing each other out, wanted to see what my position was on that, and I wanted to hear the same thing. And it was just amazing. It just aligned itself so much. As we said, it was almost too good to be true.
I know last Thursday was the great announcement. There was so much excitement. Today's a big night still, too, the vote. I don't know if we knock on wood, everybody feeling pretty good about everything tonight. We're in good shape.
I think so. I don't think it's going to be like the Tuesday night election last week in a different way, but I think that we've got a pretty good feel.
Good.
I really think that, look, the mayor's done a great job.
Yeah.
We've tried to keep everybody, in the loop. At the event last week, I think we had almost all the entire city council there, if not all of them, almost all.
That's a good sign.
And it was very positive. I mean, it's only for the better, greater of Sacramento. It's just, you can't say anything else. So somebody's going to have to tell me otherwise.
When you're going to get these questions all day, you've gotten these questions before, but I guess the first one, the most obvious one, would be, what is this? And either of you can take this. People are going to want to know, what does this mean for MLS? Does it mean anything for MLS?
Look, MLS is always there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're doing this not because of MLS.
Yeah,
we're doing this. If MLS shows up, great. If they don't, we've got a greater Sacramento that is evolving right now. I mean, they are. I will say this much: we're in communication with them.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no question about that. And I think that they're very. I'm going to guess. I haven't talked to anybody since then, but I think that they were made aware that we were going to make this announcement. I haven't talked to them since. I think maybe Todd has, and I'm sure they're going to be very happy because they know that Sacramento is a fantastic soccer market,
mm-hmm.
and I think that we've already demonstrated that. They already voted us in once before. The reality of it is they're going to come back and take a look at it. I'm going to guess at some point in time, but we're not chasing that.
And Chairman, it almost seems like, I don't want to say it's an afterthought, MLS, but that's not why you're doing this deal.
No, I think that, I'm not a big social media guy, but,
Good.
I think just the buzz that this announcement made to our city and our region.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
I think you see that. And I think that we hope to see other people wanting to invest in our downtown region as well. And again, if we're the first ones to do it and make that step, then let's do that. But I think that's ultimately why we're doing it. Sure, MLS would be amazing, but we're really doing it for our people and our land.
Let me just say this much, Dave. I think this is interesting, and I think you picked up on it as well. In fact, you might have even shared it with me. I think I shared it a little bit with the chairman. This made so much noise. It got international recognition.
Yep.
And then what was really great is, as you may know, on the Huddersfield, social media, they all of a sudden they posted a lot about, Wilton Rancheria. Yep. And they described, what it was. It's really hard for them to understand culturally, but they, at some point, someone described how does the Native American community fit into the U.S. And somebody at some point said, well, I think that the U.S. citizens who were there, they chased the Native Americans away, much like the way we were trying to do, meaning the UK.
Yeah.
Came in and tried to disrupt the colonies as they were trying to create their own nation.
Circle.
So it was sort of funny. They had this discussion going, trying to understand it, somewhat intellectual, and I really appreciate it. But they were asking a lot about the tribe,
because that connection between the English team and this team and the communities, because Huddersfield's very much, if we've noted, much like Sacramento, which is a perfect jumping place to, when are we getting you over to England to watch a match? It's got to happen.
Oh, we're ready to go. I think we'll plan something here soon, hopefully.
Are you okay with walking 8 miles every morning like this guy likes?
Absolutely. As long, I don't know how early though.
Sounds like you're not.
No, I'm not, and it happens every time. Come on, man, let's go.
No, the funny thing about it, Dave, he's all fired up on day one, and then on day two, he goes, I got
blisters.
He's giving you the blister line.
I'm like, yeah, the blister, and then his left knee got wrenched one day.
I worked through it. Just saying, I literally had blisters. I am kind of a hero. All right, I want it, Kevin. This is for you. I'm holding some notes in my hand.
It's usually, by the way, it's usually a trick question.
I'm kind of nervous.
I know.
You couldn't get a deal done. You didn't communicate with the fans. You didn't care about Sac Republic because you were so into Huddersfield. You're running the whole thing into the ground. These are just some of the things. I was on a plane, full disclosure with you, back from England, and Sac Republic just lost in the playoffs. And it's a tightrope because some of the people saying this are some of the biggest fans and supporters of the club. At the same time, it's one of the reasons why I tend to get pissed off, because I've seen for years these things being lobbed, and through no fault of their own, people don't know what was going on behind the scenes, and the fact that you couldn't say anything because you didn't want to do anything to jeopardize anything. Now that this is coming to fruition, hopefully tonight, how much are you looking forward to being able to tell the story and really fill in some of these blanks that a lot of these folks have?
Well, the story goes back a lot further than this, as you know, Dave.
Yeah.
Some of the things we've never really disclosed. We're going to start to talk about it a little bit, I think, because the history of the Republic. But let me just, some of those people who are naysayers, I can appreciate them, their passion. I really can. But what I always have to remind them of is, you've got a franchise that essentially is 11 years old. It's made the playoffs every year but once. They did win a championship. We're the runner-up U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah.
We've won a couple of league titles. And I always say we need to try harder. But I think we got a little bit spoiled because I'm a Kings fan, and I think these people were Kings fans.
Yeah.
And I mean, Kings, we're battlers. And I mean, just to get to the playoffs was massive. But I mean, I think in some ways, the Republic fans, not a lot of them, they got a little bit spoiled. I mean, we had great support,
Sure,
year in and year out. And at the same time, because we didn't win a championship, we always try harder. That's our goal, and be a better organization. But we'll get a chance to talk to some of those people a little bit more. I think we did invite them, didn't we? I think we invited them to have a one-on-one.
Yeah, invited them to have lunch. Yeah. And then of course there will be a bunch of fans out there tonight. And I, before we switch off this, I want to, because I know what you mean, obviously, spoiled when it comes to performance. The other part that I'm sure you're going to talk about too is being very aware of Cal Expo and the seats and the stands and the security and a lot of things your hands were tied on that, because without Cal Expo it's almost a homeless sports team. So you got to, but now
look, a couple things. First of all, we have fabulous fans.
Yeah.
Our fans with the Republic, they're great. I mean, they are. You just have a few people that, as sometimes they're naysayers. It's the half full, half empty, glass. But the reality of it is, you're right, it's very difficult. That's why our strategic partner, it's so important, because now it's going to be ours, and we can just think about all the different things we can do. You got 365 days a year. When that stadium is up, that means that essentially you're going to have 20, 25 matches a year.
Yeah.
You subtract that out, you've got a whole lot of time to do a cadre of different activities. The sky's the limit on that. Again,
hey, we'll use it.
Yeah.
We'll use it.
And I know, wasn't the talk to a music venue, right? I mean, there's a lot of opportunities. And the thing that I'm hearing from you guys is, look, there's competition here, but whether it's the Kings, the A's are going to be here for however tall, the River Cats, Sac State Davis, there's just a lot of stuff going on. But it sounds like everything you guys are doing is for the Republic, certainly, but also the community, just really the betterment of Sacramento.
I absolutely. I
kind of root for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. We're Sacramento, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is where we come from. But I also think that it speaks to the diversity of our region as well. You have people that, that may not even know about soccer, but because of the demographic or, because of the tribe, maybe they're going to come out, and so I think that's the idea, is just to bring our community out, but it's something to be proud of. I think that's the end of the day for the tribe. The sense of pride that we have in knowing where we come from, knowing our people, we want to give that to all Sacramento people. And I think building that stadium, it doesn't matter if you go there for a concert or a market or a game, you're going there because this is in your home, and you're proud of that. And I think that's the beauty, because that doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
It's just about being proud.
And earlier this year, on a Saturday night, the Kings were playing, the Republic were playing, Sac State were playing. We were all playing at home at the same time. We were a sellout. The Kings were a sellout. And I think that Sac State got really strong attendance. This is a market that's much. Yeah. There was a time when I think we worried about that. We don't worry about that anymore,
What do we say?
We all have our own.
Don't be afraid to let Sacramento grow. Isn't that what you said on? I think we were on the plane when you said, "Don't be afraid to grow."
It's happening
because there are some people out there that have that trepidation, right?
They do. There's just no question about it. But I mean, look, there have been times when I went from a Kings game right to a Republic game, and I think even vice versa. And I mean, if I could probably make the Sac State game that night,
Right.
I've done it. But I think we've got our own fans that overlap. But I'm not competing with them. Yeah. Look, I own part of the Kings for a lot of years. I've got great passion for them.
Yeah,
I want everyone to have success.
Mr. Chairman, I don't want to be presumptuous because I know that's kind of in the future. But will we see? Have you thought about maybe some influence within the team as far as different appreciation nights, different influences, different messaging, education, fun, just kind of putting that fingerprint on the whole franchise?
Yeah, no, I think you definitely get excited about some of those opportunities. But also I think we're going to be very cautious and when those things allow or they come, then we'll do. I think subtly though, even in some of the uniform stuff, the different patterns, and what they represent, I think it's important to have those conversations with our partners here, and as long as it speaks to the same things, that what it represents, and I think that there's some similarities and things already that the team and the tribe share. But super excited, to be able to have that, because again, for us, it's like what you see, you don't see that a lot.
Right.
And we're hopeful to do that here in our region and let it take off, let it go to a different place, another city, another tribe, and let them have that, bring that sense of pride and honor to their home as well.
Maybe the Kevin Nagle walk-off for walkathon for charity, 8 miles.
We could do it.
Could Dave do it?
I'll do the play-by-play.
Oh, come on.
These guys are visionaries.
They are. No, getting to know you guys has been fun. And, a lot of, I guarantee you somebody might listen and say, what are you guys talking about? Just get it done, this, that, whatever. Jason,
process.
It is a process. Yeah. And Jason's been here forever. I've been here forever. A lot of people listening have been here forever. This is a local station. And it's nice to see the ball, no pun intended, moving forward.
I just have a question. Why are you crumbling the
show's over,
very
baby.
important questions that
show's over.
The chairman and I, and he crumbled it up.
Yeah.
Dave, I just have one last question.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's a hard one, Jason. Who was buried in Grant's tomb?
It's a great question. We'll take a break. I'm a glass half open guy. For the chairman, for Kevin Nagle, Christopher Laud, Matt Barrows, Sean Salisbury, Jason Ross, I'm Carmichael Dave. Light the beam. Bye-bye.
The quest for ring number 6 happens here on Sactown's